He walked closer to the ball. He reached out to grab it, but it was a little beyond his reach. Michael dipped his hand into the water and quickly decided that it was a bit too cold for his liking, and began to search around for something he could use to bring the ball closer to him. After a brief search around the field, he found a fallen twig on the grass that should be long enough for him to use. He returned to the water and the pulsating ball. His mind was now playing tricks on him, and he imagined a noise each time the ball pulsed. But to him, that seemed more appealing as he went down to his knees and leaned forward with his right arm stretched, holding the twig. The ball was almost within reach, but you'd need a little more range in order to coax it closer. He briefly repositioned himself and felt sturdy enough to stretch that little bit further and poked at the ball to try bring it nearer. His attempts were a bit clumsy, however, the ball was slowly being nudged nearer. The ball was now in reach and he picked it out of the water with his hand after dropping the twig at the water's edge. He closed his hand around it and pulled it out the water. It felt warmer than he was expecting. He was a little surprised that he could see the blue pulses through his closed hand as if the light passed through him. He stood up and opened his hand looking at the ball. It was about the size of a plum and made out of a material he wasn't entirely familiar with. It wasn't quite glass, but that was the closest material his mind could relate to. It felt almost sticky, yet there was nothing on the surface to make it so. The ball was completely transparent, and there was nothing he could see that was responsible for the blue pulsing. He stared at the ball curiously, almost mesmerized by it, and got a bit of a fright when he heard someone greet him as they walked past with a casual "morning." After recovering from his minor shock and his mind back in focus, Michael thought it was best that he headed off to work. He placed the ball in his pocket and took a brisk walk to his place of work, hoping there would not be too many customers. The rest of the trip was uneventful. At work, he found his hand would make its way into his pocket frequently to touch the ball, and each time he made contact with it, he felt a sense of comfort that he couldn't quite explain. The day was quiet, which made it feel like it was taking forever. Michael removed the ball from his pocket and gazed at its welcoming pulse. The store owner noticed his distraction and came over to look at what was so interesting. After a few moments, he couldn't quite understand the fascination. He was about to make a comment to Michael when he noticed that his hand appeared to be absorbing the ball. Unsure if this was a trick his eyes were playing on him or if something was out of place, he took a small step back and strongly recommended to Michael that he put the ball down. Option 1. Does Michael listen and put the ball down? Or 2. Does he ignore his boss? Vote now.